Okay, for the second part of our movement class, we're going to do something that when we're at school, I call splits. And when we do splits, we're in the gym and we use the whole gym floor. We start at one end, we go to halfway to half court and back, and then we go all the way to the end of the room and back. And we do that moving 3 different ways. Well, I'm not in the gym and neither are you, so I'm using this square area of my driveway. You might use your driveway or your yard, or maybe you're going to be inside, and that's okay. You can do it inside too. You could use maybe the biggest room where you can get all the way around the room, or if you just have a tiny bit of space, you could do all the movements we're going to do in place. That means doing the movements but not actually moving around anywhere. So I'm going to show you each time how to do that. The first way we move in splits is we do a movement walk. Now, does a movement walk look like this? No, of course not. It's full of energy. Of course, all movement class movements are full of energy. In a movement walk, we pump our arms, we take big walking steps, but it's still walking. Is it running? No, it's not running. Does it even look like running? No, it's walking, but it's big walking. If you are going to join us and do it by doing it in place, this is what you're going to do. You're going to march in place and you're going to pump those arms the whole time. And you can do that until I'm back in this spot, and then you'll be doing it the same amount of time as we do. What I want us to do with splits, though, like we do in the gym, is we're going to test our bodies and see what happens when we move, and especially when we move bigger and harder and stronger. So I want everybody to put their hand in the air. Now put it on your heart. Remember, your heart's up here, not down here. So take your hand and put it up here. We're going to feel what our heart is doing. I don't feel anything. I promise you, your heart is working. It's in there pumping, doing everything it's supposed to be that a healthy heart does. But we don't necessarily feel that just by putting our hand on our chest yet. We're going to do some tests and see if we can't make our heart work so hard that we can feel it. So right now we don't, and that's fine. I'm going to do my walk. I want you to join me in whatever way you're going to join me. Remember, it's a movement walk. I'm going to go around 3 times. I have kind of not a huge area. So you do whatever you need to, however many times you need to, and I'll meet you right back here. I'm starting my walk. I'm probably going to go out of the camera a lot while I'm doing this, and that's okay, because I'm trying to get as big an area as I can. You do the same thing. You go anywhere you need to go, as big as you need to go, or right there in place. Just move. That's the key. We're moving. But remember, it's a walk. I'm not running. I'm walking. I'm taking big walking steps. I'm pumping my arms. My 3rd and last lap. And then I'm coming right back to our spot. I'm back. Okay, hand in the air. On our heart. I don't feel anything. I know it's in there. I know it's pumping. I know it's pumping harder than it was before I walked, for sure. It's still not hard enough for me to feel what's going on in there. And again, that's okay. It's still a healthy heart. Okay, the second way we move in splits is we skip or gallop. It doesn't matter. Either one works, whichever one you like to do more. We skip or gallop. It's still not a run. Doesn't really even still look like a run. Skipping or galloping. If you are doing that in place, you just add a little hop to that march and swing those arms. Or a gallop in place, same thing. Just doing those moves, just keeping them still. Or keeping them in one spot, not still. Okay, I'm going to use my 3 laps. I'm going to start by skipping and then I'm going to gallop. I'll meet you back here. I love to skip. I'm swinging my arms. That's going to help me work harder. Big skipping. Now I'm going to switch this to galloping. Again, one foot is in front of the other. Projects me forward, just like a horse does. And I can switch which leg is in front. I can lead with my other leg. right back to where we were. I'm already breathing harder. Hand in the air on my heart. I feel mine. For sure, it's pumping harder. I'm working. That's my body saying you're working harder. Like I said, I'm taking bigger, deeper breaths. That's all part of it too, that I'll explain in a minute. Okay, last thing we're gonna do, last way of moving. Running. This is always when everybody cheers in the class. Remember, if you're doing it in place, really easy to run in place. Always, have you noticed, I'm always adding my arms, because that makes my heart work even harder. So, I'm gonna do my 3 laps around my driveway. I'll meet you right back here. Oh, this is a part 2 in class when I say, watch out for your neighbors. If you're at home and you might have little brothers and sisters or big brothers and sisters around you, watching, be really careful for who's around you. Also, wherever you are, be watching your environment. Always run looking ahead. Especially if you're in the house, there might be something in your way. You don't want to hit something, get hurt, so really pay attention. Be watching where you're running. Meet you right back here. I'm going to go 3 laps around. I've made my circle a little bit bigger since running is a little hard to do in a smaller space. You be sure to ask Mom and Dad, where's the safest, best place for you to run in your house? And all the way back. And hands are up on my heart. Wow. I barely have to touch to feel my heart beating so hard in there. And I'm again taking big, deep breaths. That is your body saying, way to go, you're working so hard, that's good for us, that makes us healthy. What's happening in our bodies when we do that is our muscles, when they're working hard, like they were when we were walking, we were skipping and galloping, and when we were running, when they're working hard, they need extra blood. They need extra blood because in that blood is oxygen or air. That's what we breathe. So our body starts taking in more air. That's why we're breathing hard, to get that blood nice and rich with oxygen so it can pump to all the muscles that are needing it. That's why our heart's beating so much harder, because it's pumping faster than it was before to get all the oxygen-rich blood to all those muscles that need it so much. So, good job. Way to go. Whether you were standing still or out in the driveway or in the house in your room, great job. Our body's doing the exact same thing, whichever place we are. Way to go.